4, 3, 2,
Hey team, hope all's well. I thought I'd give you an update on my first Ironman I did back in March this year. I made the call to do an Ironman back in January 2020 and gave myself about 15 months to train up for it. I have not come from a triathlon background at all. In fact, I played rugby pretty well my entire childhood and grown up and through my university days. Not anything crazy, just an amateur rugby player. Ended up into a corporate job and then had done bugger all for a couple of years. So was getting fat and unfit and thought I'd set myself a challenge, and had always wanted to do an Ironman. So I was coming from no real background, but thought I'd have a crack at it anyway. And yeah, this is a little bit of an update around how that went. I did record most of the journey just as a bit of a reference point for myself and for family and friends, for them to keep up to date with how things were going. But it was very much Facebook and Instagram focused. So this being one of my first YouTube clips, it's a bit of a makeshift put together of photos and older videos. So anyway, hope you enjoy it. It's just a quick snapshot and a brief update around how the day went, and essentially how I progressed and how I changed from January 2020 through to race day. Yeah, hope you enjoy. Starting with the swim. Now this is my weakest discipline of the three in a triathlon race, and I'd only started swimming in June 2020, so really had no idea what to expect. My only plan was to make sure I didn't absolutely gas myself before the bike and the run actually started. So I managed to find some feet early and was able to sort of settle in and relax and just follow them along, which made a huge difference. So I ended up completing the swim in 58 minutes, which was certainly at the upper end of my expectations. And this set me up incredibly well for going on to my favourite discipline of the day, which was the bike. So I got out of transition cleanly, got my feet in the pedals, and then put my head down and went to work, really. It was a bike leg of two halves, basically, 2 laps. And the first 90 Ks went really well, felt really comfortable and averaged about 240 watts. The second 90 Ks, I got incredibly uncomfortable on my saddle for some reason, and my power dropped off as I was shifting around. But overall, reasonably happy with the bike time, come in and around where I thought I was going to end up being, which ended up at 4 hours and 47 minutes, and then moved on to the marathon. This is where the rubber really hit the road for me, and I was looking forward to having a crack and seeing how the body was going to hold up. The first 5 Ks went okay, and then from about kilometre 5 through to 20, I felt absolutely horrendous. So that was quite a learning curve, and then the last 15 kilometres gradually felt better and better. So ended up completing the marathon in a time of about 3 hours and 16 minutes, giving me an overall time for the Ironman in my first crack is 9 hours, 8 minutes and 12 seconds, which I was absolutely over the moon with, and super stoked after a long 15 months build-up. I guess as with any Ironman journey, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to sort of sink in and allow yourself a chance to really reflect on what actually happened. And it's been, for me, now several months. We're about 4.5 months post that journey, and the more I look back and the more I reflect, the more I guess sort of proud I am of the performance that ended up happening on the day. And I'm super appreciative of the whole support from friends, family, strangers, everyone on the day, and for that whole 15-month build period as well. It's these sorts of missions and challenges in life are never done individually, and it's always a sort of cumulative result of the team and the work that goes on in the background. But the cool things reflecting back is I love the fact that I get to call myself an Ironman now, and that's something that no one can ever take away from me, which is fantastic. And one of the other things that happened on the day too was I managed to come in second place overall in my age group, which I was absolutely stoked with. I'm a reasonably competitive sort of person, so I'd set a reasonably high goal and challenge for myself right from the get-go. And to get second place and to have that sort of realised was awesome. And also with that, I managed to qualify for World Champs in Kona, Hawaii on my first crack as well. So overall, it's been a phenomenal 15-month period. One of the things I also like to do as part of that reflecting is always looking back just to see how far you've come, especially as a bit of motivation when times are tough or motivation and sort of passion, desire is lacking a little bit. So if I look back to when I first made the decision in January 2020 and on what I looked like, who I was, and then I progressed forward 15 months to the completion of that Ironman and what I'd sort of transformed into and who I was then is something that I am and will forever be super proud of as well. So that's the cool part about setting a challenge and a journey like completing an Ironman is it absolutely changes your mind, body, soul, and it's a fantastic experience. So I'd encourage as many people as possible out there to have a crack. There's nothing's impossible. Just get out there and get into it. Be consistent, and over time you'll absolutely surprise yourself at what you can actually achieve in your own life, and with a fantastic support crew around you. There's all sorts of stuff you can get up to in life. So there's a really brief snapshot of my Ironman journey, team, and what ended up, the 15 months, what that culminated into in terms of a performance on the day. So I'm really looking forward to what lies ahead. I'm going to continue with the training and preparing for another race season. So this will essentially be my second race season doing triathlons. So I hope you've enjoyed this brief snapshot. If you feel the need, do comment down below if you want to know anything more. I have recorded as much as I can on Instagram and Facebook, so I'm sure I can pull in little bits and pieces of what that 15-month period looked like and how I progressed and the things that I learned. But otherwise, do the YouTube things, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see a little bit more of this sort of stuff and what else I'm up to in my life. Otherwise, have a fantastic time wherever you are. Stay safe and get out there and get after your own goals in life. Thanks, team, and we'll catch you next time.